Today we're here to talk about my lovely purple friend. Yes, the Luna V2. A little background story. You guys know the case file 003. It's a little guy, Fingerspin dimple, part of the case file, one-off experiment run. It's a big fan favorite, so I kind of wanted to increase the size and create a larger organic bimetal with fingerspin dimple. That's where we are at with the Luna. Now this version 2 went through some minor but major updates. As you can tell, this is now an outer ringed organic bimetal. The original version was inner ring. It is 54 millimeter wide, 54.95, so you're better off saying 55 millimeters wide. So almost 55 wide by almost 44 wide. It's no, actually closer to 43. Man, I am great at this. It's 43.25, 43.25, 64.1 grams of fun organic play. So that's kind of where we're at on the Luna V2. I love the way this guy plays. Let's talk about it a little bit. So the fingerspin dimple on the case file 03 is larger than this. Kind of just works out with a smaller yo-yo. As you get to a full-size yo-yo, it's hard to have all this center weight. So I didn't want this to be like a training aid. This small dimple is like if you can fingerspin, you're going to be able to do it on this. If you're trying to learn how to fingerspin, is this easier than a flat yo-yo? Absolutely. Is this going to be your training aid like some of the prior ones? No. Does the ridge hold your finger in? No. The ridge is kind of just like aesthetically pleasing. It increases the depth and helps a little bit, but it doesn't hold it in. It's not a big enough ridge to hold your finger in the center. Your finger can slide over to get in the middle and slide out to get out of it. So it's kind of just there for aesthetics and for finger spinning if you would like to, because come on, let's face it, it's fun, right? Okay, the version 1. The version 1, basically the same specs, so we don't really need to go over that, but we changed the rim from inner to outer, and that makes a huge difference. Now I've talked about this with the titanium Trident going from V1 to V2. We added a gram to the rim, and it is night and day difference. The V1 was kind of just like, yeah, it's a good organic titanium. The V2 has gotten to the point where it's like, yes, this guy is awesome. So it really, that 1 gram, and it could go either way, but specifically for that model, that 1 gram just took it up from like a 5 to a 9.2 out of the 10. You know what I mean? So switching the bimetal from the inner to the outer made a huge difference without changing the weight. I think the weight changed by like 0.1, but it still made a large difference in the play. This guy is a lot more stable. It is has a lot more spin time. So those were kind of two of the things with the original that I was worried about, was stability and the spin time. What I really liked about the Luna was the agility, which this maintains. And when I say agility of a yo-yo, if a yo-yo is agile, that is the ability for a yo-yo to easily change directions. If you get a yo-yo that is overly rim weighted, you will feel it has a lot of momentum, is what I would use to describe that. And it's harder for you to change directions, pop back and forth, in and out. But it keeps its momentum going through harder tricks, and its spin time just carries through all the different types of string rub, right? So where something like this, it's a lot more agile, so you're going to lose spin a little bit quicker, but I really like the way that agile yo-yos play. So the other thing, so those were the two main play issues I had with the original Luna, and then the other issue, which is just like a personal thing, I didn't like the way it looked. The inner ring wasn't enough contrast. It wasn't really doing it for me. The way that it kind of like popped out on the inner rim wasn't something I loved. And then the cup was just kind of plain Jane and didn't do it for me. So both changes The rim made a lot of aesthetic changes along with play changes. The little bump didn't do that much to play, but it did worlds of good for the aesthetic of the yo-yo and just making it look good. So that's where we are at with the version 2. So far I love it. I need to get it some more play tests before I decide on a final version. These were pre-ordered via Patreon. They were not a monthly shipment. If you're on Patreon, you got access to order one of the Protos just so you could play it along with me to see the changes and then where we go. So a lot of people like to see V1, V2, V3 or whatever. They like to experience the journey with us. So people over there did have the access to pre-order one. They didn't have to worry about a drop or anything. Should have a couple extras I'll list over there as well. So if you're over there, you'll see them pop up as soon as I get these shipped out to the pre-order people. Thanks for watching. We'll see you again tomorrow, same time.